Hi, it's Kathy, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fast and Fabulous on Friday. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool scene from the ocean using the By the Tide stamp set, which will be retiring, and I will be so sad to see it go because I'm such an ocean girl. But I'm going to show you this ocean technique that I did, and here's the inside of the card. So let's get started. Here's what you'll need for this card. You'll need the By the Tide stamp set. You'll need Island Indigo, Cajun Craze, and Dapper Denim inks. You'll need the 1 inch and 1 1/4 inch circle punches. You'll need a piece of the 5/8 inch burlap ribbon cut to about 6 inches long. And you'll need a piece of garden green that is cut out using the Swirly Scribbles framelit, which I've gone ahead and done. And then you're going to need an aqua painter. For your cardstock, you'll need a piece of crumb cake that is kind of a scrap piece. You'll need a scrap piece of Island Indigo, a piece of Island Indigo that is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, a piece of Garden Green that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and a Very Vanilla that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and your card itself, which is crumb cake, and it is 8 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. So we'll start with a little bit of stamping, and I have the fish from the By the Tide stamp set, and we'll be stamping that in Cajun Craze. And you're actually going to want 2 of those. And you're going to want the little emblem. And we're going to stamp that in. It says, let's see, it says Nantucket Oceanside Inn. And we're going to stamp that in Dapper Denim on here. And you're going to be punching that out. And then let's go ahead and punch that out. With the 1 inch punch. And there's one more piece that's missing that I need to get for you. Hold on. Here it is. It's a small scrap piece of the Peekaboo Peach cardstock. And with the Cajun Craze, you're going to stamp the little seahorse. Okay? And then these 3 pieces you're going to fussy cut, or in my case, I used my Scan and Cut to cut them out. On the Island Indigo piece, we're going to go ahead and use the 1 1/4 inch circle and punch out a circle with that. Okay. So now I'm going to show you a really cool technique. And we're going to color our water, our ocean. And so we're going to start with the Island Indigo, and we're going to pick some of that up and just swirl it. We want to have more water in it than that, so squeeze it down. So there we go. We want a good amount of water. And you're going to go ahead and add, just in broad strokes, down your paper. Just like that. And don't worry if it's uniform or anything, because ocean water isn't. So then I'm going to take my heat gun and dry that. And you'll find that it mostly disappears, but some areas where the ink was the darkest will stay. And that's what you want, is just a hint of that color, because it is the actual same color as your paper. So as you can see, there's just a light hint in there. And then we'll follow up with the Dapper Denim. And this one will stay and show a little bit more and give you the intensity you want. So again, we're just going to streak it across and use quite a bit of water with it. Just like that. And again, we'll dry it quickly. Okay. And then you need to decide which end you want to be your bottom. And so I'm going to have this be my bottom, and I'm taking my Dapper Denim ink and the words from this script here from the By the Tide. And I'm going to stamp right along the bottom here. And I'm going to start over on the right-hand side, because over here on the left we'll be putting our seaweed, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't match up perfectly, because we can hide that. But not bad. Then we will very quickly use the Seaside embossing folder, and I have a tip for you here. If you have ever experienced, like this one is actually doing, it's splitting, and the reason it's splitting is that it's been put into the Big Shot either by this end here or by the side, and that can cause it to the stress to split it. You always want to send your folded side in first. So it just may have been in a class or some environment that happened. So this is going to go in here like this. And I'll put it between my plates. And run it through the Big Shot very quickly. Okay. Isn't that pretty? So now we want to add our seaweed, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of trimming because I don't want these tops to be blunt-ended like that, because that's not what seaweed looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and angle these and just trim off, and I think I'll come down here on this one and just kind of work them off in whatever way you decide. And vary your lengths, because not all seaweed is the exact same length. Now this is going to get a little trickier to glue down because of the embossing. So I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue on it because I think that will hold better than anything else. And I'll just run a bead of it up most of my seaweed. And this will be placed right here. And I'm actually going to put this edge off the side because I want it to be sticking onto my matting. There we go. Okay. So then on these two fish that you have stamped, you're also going to want to color them using your aqua painter a little, because if you've ever seen a grouper in the ocean, and I have, a lot of them are striped. So let's make this a striped grouper because that's the type of fish he is. So I'm going to go ahead and start at his head and color his head down like this. And then I'm going to skip a little bit and give him a wide stripe. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And another one, because nature, after all, is not perfect. And put the color his fins. And so we'll move on to this guy. And again, color his head, skip a little bit, and then color again. They are pretty wide stripes on a grouper. They are not narrow. So that's why this is really pretty easy to do. So we've got those guys all colored up, and now they can be cut out. Okay, let's finish up and assemble this card. So we're going to attach this to the back. And I'm going to use a liquid glue because I find that sometimes if I use one of the adhesives, whether it be snail or fast fuse with an embossed piece, it tends to tear off the back. And it's because the fibers have been broken down in the embossing process. So it's usually easier if you just go ahead and use a liquid glue. You don't have to worry about that. That goes on there. Put it onto my card, and now I can use my fast fuse. Get up in that corner. There we go. We'll take our little Nantucket and attach that to the other circle. And get a dimensional for the back of that. And we're going to have to decide where we want that. And we're also going to put our little seahorse on the front. So we'll put dimensionals on him. Just like that. And they hang out in the seaweed, so we'll put him here. And then we need a grouper. And they're just kind of lurking around somewhere, so we'll put him down here. And then the Nantucket, I think we'll put right up here. Okay, not cute? Now let's finish the inside of the card. We've got a piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to put across the bottom here some fast fuse and attach the burlap like that. And as you can see, I'm cheating and using a piece that's stamped from Christmas, an extra, so hang on to those pieces and use them, because it won't show through once you get it down onto the paper. Just like that. And we've got a grouper, and he'll go in there, just above that, and then we'll get one little seahorse and put him up here. And then you can make this whatever kind of card you want. But there's our beautiful Fast and Fabulous on Friday technique for this Friday. Tune in next week for another Fast and Fabulous card.